What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Griever back here, bringing you guys the latest behind-the-bar reviews for One Piece. One Piece chapter 983. Unfortunately, by the looks of it, it's another break next week, but we got a few in a row, so I think we're back to the regular 3 weeks on, a week off sort of schedule that Oda has set us up for the last few years. This chapter, of course, we have some really good, theory information. I'm sure that the Tekkings, the Rogers, the King of Lightnings, the Joy Boys of the world, of the YouTube world, it'll be lit. It'll be fire. We'll just have tons of ideas. Who is this person? What is their connection? Why do they resemble X? And we'll get to all of those fun. Well, I mean, it's going to be spoiled in the next, 10, 15 minutes, but nonetheless, we'll get to that. Because this chapter also showcased us, I think Oda is trying to build up everything that's going to go down. Because once again, the big fight is already kind of underway. We're seeing, this is kind of like the preliminaries. You know when you have that sort of, in every sport, right? Not the playoffs themselves. The playoffs are a build-up, right? The same to any final match, whether it's the World Cup, the Stanley Cup, the Super Bowl, what have you. Either way, right before that, you have kind of that wild card position where there are teams that are locked in. They're here. And in that case, we have Kaido and the Beast Pirates. We have Straw Hat, Luffy Kid, Kinemon and his group. We know who's all there. Last minute contenders here in the wild card. We have Nekomamushi and Marco actually showing up. And we saw what Marco did a chapter ago. But then, all of a sudden at the beginning of this chapter, we have Sparrow showing up with his ability. I never really fully, I get it, but at the same time I don't. I know Aokiji can do it, and I know Sparrow can do it and such, but it seems so weird to me that the Devil Fruit users that are hated by the sea sort of idea, that's always been the thing, they manage to still, their Devil Fruit power can affect said water or sea. It makes sense, I guess, in a grand scheme of things, but it's always kind of odd, he got a Devil Fruit that'll allow him to also kind of negate, or at least somewhat negate, the effects of falling in the river, the lake, and the ocean. Fine dandy. Either way, Sparrow is here at the beginning of the chapter, and that's what I'm talking about, the wild card position. Did we expect that? We saw him and the rest of the Big Mom Pirates, they're not going to show up. At the very least, Sparrow is going to show up. Now, once again, I hope Smoothie is a character that everyone was hoping and had high hopes for in the Whole Cake Island arc, and we didn't really get much. When we saw Smoothie on the ship headed to Wano, we were getting excited again, and it seems like Smoothie is still left out. But remember, these are in my opinion, we're not even really in the playoffs yet. We're getting to the playoffs. This is the last of the wild card position. All the factors need to start. We need to know who all the teams are before we set the bracket, right? It's simple. That's how it works. You can't have question mark in a few of the brackets for who versus who. So right now, we're just before the playoff season. We're in week 17 of the NFL. That's what we're in right now. We're just about to hype up into the major leagues. We're getting to the main event. So, because Sparrow is going to show up. Got a vendetta right now against Straw Hat, King, and Marco. Then we also see, what else do we see? We see Sanji is just looking for ladies nonetheless. So that's where Sanji was last chapter. He's still running around looking for the ladies. He clearly missed the one the size of a mountain, so I don't know why he thinks his woman radar is going to be any better anymore. Usopp and Chopper are saved for now because, they're backing up. They're they kind of went after Nami and stuff. Zeus is even there outside of Nami's climb attack and going, oh, Nami, she's going to be so mad at me. She's going to kill me. And we see Big Mom using her homie powers on the sandals and the broom and the used hair clip and all that fun jazz. So, And then we jump over once again to Orochi and Momonosuke. Momonosuke, as I said, it's another Yasue sort of idea, the crucifixion thing going on with there, and that's really demented to do to a child, but once again, this is a Orochi. I mean, he's not really above anything at this point. I wouldn't put it past literally any heinous thing you can think of. Pretty sure Orochi would be fine with it if it involved the Kozuki clan. Now, we also jump to Kid and Zoro. Zoro's fighting off a ton of gifters. He's like, damn, they're all Devil Fruit users. And he's looking exhausted. But it seems to me, he's like, damn, they're all Devil Fruit users. It seems to me that he's cut down quite a number of them. And now he's fighting against more of them. And they say, ha, we're gifters. And we're introduced to a few more. I'm sure Zoro's going to cut them down. So there's no sense of me remembering their names or their Devil Fruits or smiles or what have you. So Zoro's right now tangling with multiple gifters, which we know he can take care of. Kid is also with Killer. They're in the mix of a fight. It's just, did I miss something? I felt like I missed something. Let's see. Perospera's headed to Onigashima. We have Zoro, Kid and Killer, Chopper and Usopp, Big Mom following Nami and Zeus and all that fun jazz. Yeah, I think we covered all the... See, that's what I'm saying. Like, this chapter had a buttload of stuff just going on right away. It's like every page was, let's jump over to this person. Let's jump over to that person. Here's where they are. Here's the battle they're in. Here's this. Here's that. And before you can even be like, okay, I wonder what's going to happen. Nope, jump over to the next character. So that's like the first 7 or 8 pages of this chapter. And I don't mind it because it's getting the pace. It's getting the hype. It's keeping the momentum going. It's like we're not just going to stay with Luffy for a whole chapter. We're not going to stay with Law for a whole chapter. We're not going to stay with Zoro. We're going to keep jumping between characters so we keep up the momentum that there are so many players involved. And we don't know all of them, apparently, because now we have the introduction of another key one. So after this, we jump over to Luffy. And I just want to say right now, let's just have a I was right drink. The taste of victory is a little warm. But no, it's okay. It's okay. It's certainly not ice cold by this point. But yeah, so Uki is a I couldn't say it last review, but I said it last review. Go back, check my review. I said it was the Dome Skull one. She would be the Pacquiao one. That's why she got the... I figured, I was trying to think of small dinosaurs, and everybody was saying Velociraptor. I know Tekken 101 was saying Velociraptor, and I was like, yeah, that would suit her. That, or it'd be the total opposite, and she'd be the T-Rex. I mentioned that as well. But she's the Pacquiao, the Friar Tuck, as, what's his name, the White Hunter says in Jurassic Park 2. Pachyrhinosaurus, whatever. Can't pronounce it. Don't care to. Either way, I haven't seen Jurassic Park in too long a time to be able to pronounce that. But yes, so it's the dome skull dinosaur. Doesn't grow much bigger than a regular size, like mammal or velociraptor sort of idea. But it has a big dome skull. It's 6 inches, 8 inches of solid bone, and it's vertebrae on the neck and all that. I remember that lesson from Jurassic Park, and it just slams in its headbutt and stuff. So that thing is deadly. So that's what makes her so deadly. And her and Luffy go toe to toe with headbutts. But I got a question here. Please tell me that wasn't like that. Was it Conqueror's Hockey? Because that's what usually the like black lightning is conveyed as, that signifies a clash of conquerors. You can't convince me that a Topiropo has conquerors. I mean, not her anyways. But my question, I guess, is, was it ornament? And I'm just misreading that it's also used for conquerors when conquerors clash as well, or is it doesn't necessarily need to be 2 conquerors clashing, but Luffy was just exuding his conquerors at the time with his headbutt, because as we see, we didn't really see his headbutt. I'm going to check before I do my obligatory cut that I always do in these reviews, but I'll double check the panel, but I was under the impression that he didn't armor and hockey up his forehead when they clashed, so he used conquers Haki in lieu of armament, and that's where the lightning's coming from. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below, because I'm not too sure. Once again, I haven't checked out like Roger or Teching or anybody's review yet, so maybe they'll have better insight, and I'll go, you moron, of course. You know, if I check the One Piece wiki that is Teching, or I check the live reactor that is Roger, I'm sure I'll come up with a better answer than my own. But nonetheless, they headbutt. It's pretty epic, and we're going to do our obligatory cut here so I can reread the rest of the chapter and really get into the juicy details. The big question mark in the room. Okay, so I think we can disregard everything I just said. It appears like it was kind of hard to tell from my initial read-through, but it appears like when you focus clearly on it, they talk about Haki, they don't mention Conquerors, plus you can kind of see that the forehead section that Oki is headbutting on Luffy, it does appear to be blackened with armament Haki. So it was just not as prevalent when I'm on my first read through. So that's on me. It's most likely just armament. So no big deal there. Let's just get to the big elephant of the room, or the Yamato in the room, because Yamato shows up. After Luffy decides to grab Uli by the horns, smash her down into page 1, then uppercut page 1 with an elephant gun and take him out, and then was kind of worried about that headbutt after he got smashed through a wall. He's like, yeah, okay, she's pretty tough. I better do a gear 4th attack, you know? And I know a lot of people are going to assume that, like, oh man, Luffy's going gear 4th. Like, he's just, like, isn't that a little overpowered? Or really, is he this outmatched? Is she that strong? It's like, the line before it even says, yeah, I gotta remember, this is an Emperor's castle. I can't underestimate it. So he decides to just, you know, because for Luffy, remember, he can just quickly, he's not exactly gonna go gear 4th, Bound Man or Snake Man full form. He's gonna go gear 4th in one arm, boom, attack, and then done. That's what he's gonna do. He was never, I'm not under the impression he was gonna do a Doflamingo go, gear 4th, Bound Man. Now let's do King Kong gun attack and stay in gear 4th form against this opponent. I was under the impression he was just going to use one attack, similar to how he just used elephant gun. So the fact of the matter is that he knows he's he's deep in enemy territory, and he doesn't have time to have a long drawn out battle. You know, going, okay, so sort of in the same way that Super Saiyans, they kind of stopped using Super Saiyan 2. And after we got introduced to Super Saiyan 4 and God and stuff later on in different series, like, when was the last time you saw Goku go Super Saiyan 3? Like, other than for nostalgia reasons or something, or for him to demonstrate. But they just jump to God now. They go base, Super Saiyan, and then it's like, okay, God form. Nobody tries Super Saiyan 2 anymore. So for Luffy to kind of go, okay, better try gear 2, gear 3rd. Okay, gear 4th. Now it's starting to work. Like, no, he can't waste that much Haki or that much time. He's got to just get this done and get it over with. So I don't think he was thinking, oh, I can't beat her with gear 3rd alone or anything like that. I'm just thinking that, you know, on a power scaling perspective, that Luffy was just trying to end it quickly by using a gear 4th move. That's all. But none of that's relevant because Yamato shows up. Thunder something I can't pronounce. Baguwaga. You know, I'm sure it means something in Japanese. I didn't check. But either way, Thunder Baguwaga. And sort of a Kaido move here with the club and stuff. And so Oda wants to believe us. He wants us all to believe that Yamato is Oden. Got the chains on, you know, that he wore. He's got the, you know, same outfit with the tie in the back, the exaggerated one. He's covered by a mask. Can't see his face. Clearly fake hair as part of the mask. Yeah. Is it Oden? That's going to be the main question that all the theories are going to be. And Oda is smart. He makes sure that the breaks, like now that everything's kind of sort of ending with the whole pandemic thing in the world, now Oda is smart and he's realizing, let's use my breaks the way I used to. He's dropping this so that we can have 2 weeks to think about it and come up with ideas. Here's the ideas. Number one, really is Kaido's son. Really is. Yamato, Kaido's son. Legit. And Oda's just throwing us a red herring. Two, it's Oden himself. Brainwashed, devil fruit ability, something that brought him back, kept him alive. Something similar to Moria's fruit or something along those lines. Maybe Moria's fruit itself. Who knows? Maybe Kaido got Moria to do something. Who knows? Number three, it's an Oden fanboy. Maybe. The way the lines are, Oda is totally leading us into believing that this is Oden. And for right now, I can't really come up with a reason to disbelieve it. The lines are leading me there. The outfit alone is leading me there. It's not that anybody else couldn't wear Oden's outfit. It's possible. Could be an Oden fanboy, as I said, and he is against his father, and he wants to, he believes in Kozuki Oden and all that stuff. Maybe he was there at the execution. We never saw him or something. And he was like, Oden was the man. He was the Chad. He was the man among men, and he wanted to be just like him. And what was Oden? Against Kaido. So that's why he is against his father. That was 20 years ago, and now that's why. So you can all chalk it up to he's not Oden. He's just someone who admired Oden, saw his strength, treated him like a superhero, and wanted to be just like him. So, and to be just like Oden, you'd have to wait for that time to open one of those borders, and that time for Laugh-Tale, and that time for the next coming of Roger sort of idea. So, regardless what this guy may or may not know, he's either Oden or someone who looked up to Oden. I don't think the outfit is a coincidence by any stretch. It's too much of a red herring if that were the case. But he claims that he's Yamato and he's Kaido's son. And the reason, because when he attacked Uki, Luffy noticed. But he didn't try to dodge for the simple fact that he couldn't sense any hostility or antagonism towards him. So when he said, I mean you no harm, Luffy, you are Straw Hat Luffy, are you not? So how does he know of Luffy? How does he know of Straw Hat Luffy? He says, I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you for a very long time. So again, very good. Like a lot of people use that to say Oden. Because Oden was waiting for Joy Boy. Why do they believe that Straw Hat Luffy would be Joy Boy? I mean, there's an entire theory there, but there's just so much in that last page with Yamato saving him, saying, I'm Kaido's son, I'm Yamato, I'm on your side, I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you for such a long time, Straw Hat Luffy, and I mean you no harm. And he's dressed like Oden. There is so many theories. And this is just a chapter review, so all I'm going to do is end it there and say there's going to be a lot of theories. I might even make one myself. Usually I, stay away from that and let the bigger One Piece YouTubers delve into that stuff and go back into an SBS from 10 years ago and figure it all out and draw the diagram and, with the red markers and all that fun jazz. But even I might have to make a video myself regarding this because there is so much to unpack. And I'd like to believe it was Oden. I really would, but I truly think that Oda did not bring Oden back. If he did, it's a devil fruit. Quite possible, considering the smiles. The smiles might be all zones. But there's also mythical zones. Look at Marco and what he can do. So, what if there's the power of a mythical zone here at work? And if it might not even be a mythical zone. It could be another devil fruit that Kaido had working for him. Remember, he killed the old hag and all that stuff, and he clearly killed the barrier fruit because that went off to Bartolomeo. So there might have been other avenues. So I'm just either Oden is alive and half brainwashed but not really, and it is him, or it's once again it is Yamato, it is Kaido's son. It's not a split personality, it's not a brainwash, it's just Yamato himself but he's against his father. We have so many questions to ask. What did you guys think? What do you think of the chapter? Like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Griever with your Behind the Bar reviews for chapter 983 of One Piece. Like, comment, subscribe. As always, we'll see you back here next time. Drink responsibly. Peace, guys. Oh, and happy Father's Day.